About 12 months ago, when Astrid and I were putting our current website together and working on what we wanted to do and so on, one of the key things that kept coming up was the need to have someone who could give some expert advice on car ownership, importation of cars and matriculation of cars and other vehicles in Portugal. And it took us a long time to find the right organization, but I'm very pleased to tell you that we have found them now in ACP. So as far as we're concerned, these are the experts and these are the people that we'll pass you over to should you ask us any complicated questions. So without further ado, I'll hand you over to Carl, who will talk with ACP. Thanks, Carl.
Thank you, Jerry. Hi, Carl here in Anadia in the Aveiro district of Portugal tonight. Delighted to be talking to ACP, Automóvel Club de Portugal. I hope my pronunciation's okay on that. They're smiling. I'm not sure if they're laughing with me or at me with that. Okay, getting a thumbs up. That's good. Excellent. Maybe we got a lovely little presentation to put people in the picture and get the show on the road. Very good, Astrid. I like what you did there. But before we go to the presentation, can we have a little bit of an introduction from the three of you from ACP? Tell us your names and what you do for the organization.
Okay. Hello. Good evening. Nice to be with you today, this evening. I'm Soraya.
And I'm Rosario.
We work we attend every day members, okay, person to person,
And by telephone.
and telephone and email and so on. We'd like to make a small presentation about the benefits to become a member of ACP, and a little presentation, and then the questions.
Fantastic. Well, should we go for it? Should we go for the presentation right now?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant.
Let's go. So, ACP has more than 100 years on ensuring drivers' interests, with over more than 250,000 trusting club members. As a member, we provide roadside assistance and with repair on site. We provide, if your car is not repairable on the spot, ACP pays the cost of the work labor at the repair shop of your choice. As a member and for your health, we provide medical assistance, health plans, and doctor at home for 10 euros only.
We make all type of insurance for your car at 11 for months, for your home and for yourself too. We have also a travel agency and two important clubs inside ACP universe. There are ACP Golf and ACP Classics. We help you with cars documents, provide medical certificate to change your driving license or international driving license, or importing vehicles. Many benefits each day.
On importing vehicles, there is a lot of questions that we can answer. The main questions for foreign people that come into Portugal or want to come to Portugal. There is many doubts about that subject. It's not easy to import a car. There is many steps that we have to, and that we have to. But we provide that make simple that
and
process.
We help you to the ending.
Sometimes it's not 100% of the times that we can matriculate a car. Okay, in the middle of the process, maybe some technical issues cannot work, but we are here to help. Okay.
And that will come as a massive relief to many people here tonight. I'm sure that's specifically why they've tuned in to learn about the importation process. But before we move on to that, I mean, I know you've got some more slides to show us. I was talking about these benefits of joining the ACP on the breakfast show the other day, and I don't even own a car. I hire one occasionally. But I want to join the ACP because of all these other benefits that you have here, like medical assistance and a doctor visiting at home for only €10. It's quite a lot of other lifestyle benefits as well, isn't it? It's not just about motoring.
Not just for motoring. Even we have several members that don't have any car at all, don't drive, because we provide health plans, doctor at home. We have an agreement, and you can have a car discount that you have a huge discount in private clinics, and dentists as well. You can make also a health insurance, health insurance. We provide if you need a plumber at home.
Really? Okay.
Plumber, electrician. Yeah. You don't have to pay for the, how can I say,
a call-out visit?
For the budget. For the budget.
Oh, okay. So this is amazing. This is a whole load of lifestyle benefits. I know. I mean, we will get onto the case studies because people here are here to find out about how to import vehicles. But I thought it was important to share the whole. I was going to say it's two birds with one stone. For a lot of people who are coming to Portugal, this is getting a number of. Sorry, I don't mean to be unkind to birds, but it's getting a number of birds with this one ACP stone here, especially with the health insurance thing. So sorry, but back to you.
To import the technical issues that I talked about in a second. Can you okay. Not just importing vehicles. If you want to buy a car, we help you to find a good one, with guarantee. We ACP provide sell cars, used cars, and help also in all the process of renting, for example.
Yes. Wow.
About import vehicles, that is the main questions for foreign. You can have expert advice from ACP because you have a lot of experience to handle with that processes. For example, if a foreign comes into Portugal and want to import their car, normally they don't know where you can find information. They don't know how to start the process. They don't know anything. And the ACP can provide all of that. There is some, normally, there is, on importing vehicles, there is two situations. Or you have to fulfill certain conditions to have tax exemption. If you don't fulfill that conditions, you have to pay tax, ISV. And ISV, it's heavy. It's heavy. Unfortunately, it's heavy. If you have the documentation required by the Portuguese law, in the case of a tax exemption, if you don't, you have to pay that tax, and it's a lot. For example, about electric and hybrid cars.
It's not so expensive.
Not so expensive. Electric cars don't pay ISV.
Yes.
Pay VAT if are new. We don't pay ISV. That is good. Hybrid plug-in don't pay not so much as a usual car. More than half of value of tax. But in the process, we can find some issues, technical issues. For example, American cars have to fulfill certain technical issues on the car, and you have to, for example, I've got one car from America that the person bring the car into Portugal, okay, but the speedometer, the odometer,
It's in miles.
it was in miles on the United States.
Yep.
And they cannot change at all 2 kilometers. And the person has to ship back to United States. It was not possible to matriculate in Portugal.
Okay, and that's the sort of thing you could help somebody
Yes,
from the get-go, rather than going to all that expense. You can help them from the start of the process and avoid such a costly mistake.
yes.
Great. Good to know.
Astrid, can you change the slides into the last one, please? Just
while Astrid's doing that, Curtis, good point, Curtis. Acronym's a bit difficult for him. The VAT IVA, that's the value added tax that you're paying in Portugal, IVA. And the other one, you called it ISV. Could you tell us?
ISV. Imposto sobre Veículos.
Okay, that's why we're sticking to ISV, I guess.
Yeah, ISV depends on the engine power, the date of the first registration, okay, the fuel type, CO2, and the CO2 emissions.
Okay, there you go, Curtis. I hope that helps with the tax types there and the acronyms.
Yes.
For in the US, IVA is equivalent to sales tax in the US.
Yes, your value added, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great, okay.
For example, if you don't fulfill certain debt conditions that I told you, you have, for example, a car from the United States. If you don't fulfill the conditions to have tax exemption, you have to pay ISV, VAT 3 times, okay, 3 times, and customs duties. It's a huge forget. If you don't fulfill the conditions, you pay twice, triple the car value. Impossible. Yeah.
It's better by
European Union
It's better by the council.
Okay. Also good to know. Thank you.
Yes. That example, for example, tax exemption denial. The applicant did not have the proofs of residence in country of origin, okay, of the last 6 months before the cancelled residence date, utility bills. If you don't have this, no tax exemption, for example. That is one of the conditions to have tax exemption. You have to cancel officially the residence in the country that you came. You cannot have any income work in Portugal since the date that you cancel, before the date that you cancel the residence in Portugal. You have to have the car in your name at least 6 months before that date of canceled residence, and you have 6 months of minimum residence in that country, okay, as well, to have tax exemption. Okay.
Wow. So this is quite a list of things, isn't it, that people need to be very, very, very careful.
We send you by email if you wish.
There is a lot of documents that you have to present, but step by step,
we'll do it.
And you've done it before. Okay, which is great. You've done it once or twice before. Fantastic. So any other case studies or anything else that do you want to bring to our attention via the presentation?
The most important thing to do now, you know ACP,
Yes.
that is not ACP. Contact us. Yes. Expose your situation. Okay.
And we respond by email. It's more simple.
We help you if you have conditions. If you don't have conditions, don't bring the car before that.
Yes.
Okay, it's better. And we help. We try to help at maximum.
All right, and we saw the prototype car there. That was also another one that had to be sent back at great cost by the sound of it.
Exactly. Exact prototypes. It's impossible. We don't accept.
Oh, really? That's a blanket. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. So much here. Clearly, professional help of this kind is required. We can come to that conclusion for sure. And we've got loads of great questions. Going back to, thank you for your presentation there, Rosario and Soraya. The cost to join. Can you tell us the cost for all the benefits that you've mentioned there?
Okay, all included roadside assistance is 980.40 per year. Okay. Per year. Yeah, included all the services.
And that's just one level of service that you pay. There aren't different kinds of service.
With roadside assistance, that value for roadside with roadside assistance included.
Yeah. Okay.
Without 49.20 per year.
So clearly very reasonable. And I should add as well that premium members get a 25% discount on the membership at the highest level there, which basically covers the cost of your premium membership, giving you access to a load of other benefits. And all community members are going to get 15% discount on the first year of subscriptions there, which sound really very good value anyway. And the way to do that is to go via our website, and you'll have to come through us to get that benefit. Okay, so get in touch with us via our website, and we'll get those discounts sorted out for you with the ACP as expatsportugal.com members. That's fantastic. So just under 100 for the year for roadside assistance, and without roadside, just under 50.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Okay. And Roberta, yes, it's a little bit like the AAA in America. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, everybody, all our American guests and friends here tonight. Happy Thanksgiving to you. And thank you for taking an hour out of your Thanksgiving celebrations to join us this evening. But as you can see, it's a very important and potentially very costly challenge of bringing a vehicle in. We have people here tonight, as well as from America. We have South Africa. Anna's here from Cascais, Colin from Portugal. North Carolina, good evening to you. Ireland, Los Angeles, good evening to you. Happy Thanksgiving. Washington, Hampshire in the UK, San Diego, happy Thanksgiving. Berlin, London, California again, Guarda, Deborah in Guarda tonight. Kuwait. Oh, okay, brilliant.
We had a lot of
offices all over the country. That's as well.
Yes.
Okay, so Pilar and Les in Kuwait, good evening to you. Wiesbaden, hi Jim. Louise in Central Portugal, UK, Leicestershire, Tamar, Rotterdam, Belgium, Jani in Belgium. Fantastic. So many people from all over the world. I think we've covered what it costs to join there adequately. I finally got my documentation for matriculating my car today. A brave man who looks like he might have taken it on himself there. But now I need to get the insurance. How easy and how quick is this? And presumably, how can ACP help with this?
With insurance?
Yeah.
With insurance. But a foreign car?
No,
Yes.
this is a matriculated vehicle. Wayne has been through the process, and it sounds like he got his documentation this very day today. Now he needs to get it insured. How does one go about getting motor insurance in Portugal for the beginner, for the new expat in Portugal? What's the best way to do that?
Insurance. He can contact us, okay?
I thought you'd say that.
We have all.
Right.
We have ACP. It's insurance mediation. Okay.
Okay.
You can make car insurance, home insurance, health insurance, all type of insurances.
All right. So for Wayne, with which, what was that?
Dental insurance.
Dental insurance, okay, for us Brits, yes. Okay, but for his motor insurance, he can come through you and you mediate that. So effectively, you're like an agent, and you presumably shop around.
We work with several insurance companies, okay, and we find the best price.
Yes.
Right? We find the best, choose the better. Yeah.
All right. Now, a lot of European expats drive their cars into Portugal. How long, if they don't officially import or matriculate, how long can they keep their vehicle in Portugal if they don't become resident? And that's the question prompted by Martin there. You can't?
You cannot. The main rule is an official resident in Portugal cannot drive a foreign car. I'm Portuguese, okay?
Yeah.
in Portuguese. I cannot drive a French car or an
English
English car. Okay, not depends on the nationality. Depends on the residence.
Okay.
Okay, that is very important. You cannot drive.
Presumably, as a tourist, you can.
A tourist, you
Driving
can.
as a tourist, but
You can.
so what would be the? I mean, some people are thinking, okay, well, I'm a tourist and I'll stay a tourist. Presumably, there's a limit on that.
An official resident, we consider an official residence since the time that when I how can I say 6 months, 180 days. If I'm in Portugal more than 180 days, okay, I'm an official resident.
Okay.
Okay, that is how the authorities control that. It's very tricky. It's very tricky.
So at that point, you should not really have a foreign vehicle because you've become a resident.
I have a house in UK, okay, and I came into Portugal several times as a tourist, okay, and the authorities in some areas make a control every day.
Okay.
And you have to argument with police, okay, that you don't live here.
Right.
You have to prove that you don't live here.
So really, you don't want that sort of hassle, do you? Basically.
Sorry.
I mean, we don't want that sort of hassle, basically. So I'm not sure that's the best way forward, as people might be thinking or working around the law there. It sounds very complicated.
It's very complicated because the police if it see a foreign car, stops you. Okay. Stops you, and you have two arguments. You have to show that you really don't live here. I mean, in tourism, right? Okay. Because,
and I guess with the pandemic restrictions as well, that's an added complication. So a hassle we can probably do without.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I don't know if you would know the answer to this, but we'll try Curtis. Is there any exemption conferred by the D7 visa when it comes to importation? I'm thinking not, but if you have a D7 visa and you come in, does that give you any exemptions at all from paying the tax or duties on the car? A definite no from Soraya there, okay.
No. The conditions to have the tax exemption are you have to cancel officially. For example, one example, UK, okay? You have to cancel officially the residence in UK. For that, you have to go to the British Council, okay? Present proof that you are not living there with the cancellation of fiscal. How can I say the fiscal residence in UK?
Yeah.
Okay. The British Council will give you a document that certify that you cancel officially the residence to move to Portugal. Okay. You have to have the car in your name at least 6 months. Okay. 6 months of its minimal residence as well in UK. Okay. And you cannot present any income work in Portugal. Sometimes people have companies in Portugal. Right? You don't have tax exemption in that case, because that is income, you must pay, and you have to pay ISV, the tax.
Okay, all right. Wow, Tammy is cutting right to the chase here and asking the question, am I right in thinking that it's not really worth it to import a car from the United States? Putting it bluntly.
No, not really. If she transferred the residence into Portugal.
Yeah. But I think what she's getting at there is it just seems like a very complicated and expensive process. With most people that you deal with from the United States, for example,
Mhm.
do most people end up bringing their vehicles? I mean, that'd be another way of putting it. They do. So they do go through the process. Okay. So Tammy, all is not all is not lost.
Yeah.
Okay. There is hope, and presumably,
It's not with ACP. It's very similar result to us.
okay.
Try to
All right then.
100, quite 100%.
All right, fantastic. With car insurance, general motor insurance, okay, that you need to buy, that you're mediators for, Roberta's asking an interesting question about how the cost of car insurance is determined in Portugal. Is it to do with the year, the type of car, where you live? What sort of factors are involved in the cost of insuring a car? And while you're about it, how much does it, just roughly, what might be people be paying for monthly or annually for their insurance for their car?
I cannot give you estimation because depends a lot of how many years you have the driving license,
Okay.
the car. Old cars pay a lot of insurance. Depends on the engine power. It depends. There is a lot of how can I say, variables on an insurance. We cannot. You give me BMW. 320. How much I can pay on insurance? I cannot answer. I have to see there is a lot of conditions to make the insurance.
Okay, well, to make that easier, so let's say we're expats, we're talking about 50 plus people, and so they've got a good experience on the road. Let's say they have a smallish car, not a luxury car. Roughly speaking, what sort of monthly payment might that be?
Third party or full coverage?
Both.
Insurance. Both.
Yes, a choice of both. They need to know that.
It depends on the car. It depends.
Okay.
Talk with ACP. Yeah.
All right, she won't be drawn on that for the time being. Okay. All right. Paula, Carolyn, and Andy are all asking, what's the membership price again? I think I know this one. It's just under 100. It's 98 and something and a little bit for the including roadside, and just under 50 without roadside, which I think represents incredible value. And
very good.
Thank you. And I could work for ACP. You get a discount as well if whether you're a premium member or even a community member of expatsportugal.com. We give a 25 and 15% discount respectively there, and just get in touch with us directly to qualify for that benefit. Great question from Jim in Germany. Can I join ACP without having a Portuguese address?
Sorry.
Can Jim join if he doesn't have a Portuguese address?
Yes, for sure.
So he doesn't have to live in Portugal. He can come and drive in Portugal, even with an address in Germany, and enjoy the benefits as like a sort of tourist or temporary cover while he's here.
Yes.
Okay.
He can become a member even he have a foreign address. No problem.
Fantastic.
We have a special process on the roads assistance, okay? If he have a foreign address, okay, we can provide roadside assistance, but only if he's in Portugal.
Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
But he doesn't have to be a Portuguese resident to qualify.
No.
There you go, Jim. That's a result, I think. The price is fantastic, says Curtis. The American Automobile Association in US sounds like a lot more. Says it's greater over there, bigger over there. Tammy, again, can those of us at a certain age, this would be over 60, still get the health insurance plan? So do you have any bars or limitations or exclusions on your... You don't?
No.
Yeah, it's better and better, folks. Okay.
No age limits.
None.
For
Okay.
our health plans.
So certain age you're not, Tammy, you're good to go with ACP. Fantastic. Curtis is thinking of a workaround. This is interesting. Can you ship to, say, Rotterdam and then move it to Portugal? Now, I know this goes on because people talk about, oh yeah, what you should do is buy a car in Germany and then just drive it to Portugal. And you'll have you know all of these ruses that people get up to. What do you say about that? People like buying in the Netherlands or in Germany and then trying to drive to Portugal. What will happen?
But tell me, that is a general question. I want to buy a car in Germany. Is that the question?
Well, I think
Portugal.
What's happening here is Americans and British people are thinking, if I buy a car in the EU collective, do I still have to pay tax if I bring it from the Netherlands or Germany into Portugal?
Yes.
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 There you go, Curtis.
ISV.
ISV it is. Okay. I bet you're glad you asked about those acronyms now, Curtis. Fantastic. My
What it does, we can make a simulation of the tax if to control if that car it's good to bring or not. We can make that type of simulation. Okay, how much you have to pay for the tax.
Yes.
Okay.
And you go to think about it.
Amazing. Okay, because the Germany thing is featuring in our questions here about doing that. So, I mean, to cut through the potential confusion here, are you available? I mean, if someone were to join the ACP, can they ring up and talk to someone to talk them through it? I mean, that's what I need to find out from you on behalf of our members here, is how accessible are you to help people through the process? Could they ring up and speak to one of you, for example?
Okay. The question is how to get to us, yes?
Yeah, I mean, let's say somebody is interested in using your importation services or that aspect, that part of your membership. And, you know, there are different types of customer service according to different organizations. I'm trying to find out with ACP whether they will be talking on the internet to a computer and emailing you and using customer contact forms, or will they actually have access to a human being?
No. As a member, we can, we handle with all the process.
But person to person?
Person to person, okay.
Excellent.
The person can come to us, to our offices that we have in all over the country. Okay. They present that's the situation, and we provide all the documents that you have to bring. Okay. And that's it. And we handle with all the process.
Amazing. Okay, that's really good to know that you're dealing with a human being rather than a contact.
But sorry, Carl. We give all the information by email, phone, just contact and we inform you. Okay.
By phone, by email, everything.
Fantastic. Okay, so
face to face.
That's so nice to know in this day and age. Paula asked, do the same rules apply for motorcycles? So is this good? I mean, yeah, motorcycles, motorhomes. What sort of vehicles are covered?
Roadside assistance, car, motorcycles.
Yeah.
The same.
Motorhomes as well, camper vans?
Motorhomes as well. Yeah, motorhomes as well.
Okay, a question from James. Do you charge a matriculation process fee, or is it part of the... So what does it cost as an additional fee from you to go through that process?
About 500 euros.
About 500
euros, yes.
Okay.
If you bring a certificate of conformity, okay, it's about 500 euros, between 500 and 700.
Okay, so it starts
of all the process.
With
and
CO2 or without CO2? COC.
The COC, sorry. Yeah, the
Sorry,
certificate of conformity.
Okay. Deborah's asking, we're in some very real specifics and acronym territory tonight, folks. Bear with us. Where can we get the inspection for the Modelo 9 form? I don't know what that is. I'm just asking the question. What is a Modelo 9 form? Do you know?
It's one of the form that you have to fill in. Okay, on the process.
One of.
Model 9 is it's a form.
We send the Model 9 by mail if you want it.
The Model 9, it's one of the form, one of the 10 forms
yes.
that you need to import a car. Okay.
Modelo novo. Okay.
Model novo, it's especially for inspection, to have the certification, the brand certification,
Yeah.
to have the homologation. There is the model novo. It's need for many things on the process. Yeah.
Okay. So there you go, Deborah. You can get that with ACP as well. Going back to Wayne now, and the specifics on insuring a car. If he were to ring you to get an insurance quote, I mean, could this process, just going through a process now, could he become a member tomorrow or tonight and then get an insurance quote, accept it, and be able to drive his vehicle straight away?
Straight away.
Okay. All right. There you go, Wayne. There is a result for you. So you can get the clearance or a cover note, whatever, by email. Can you? Is that how it would work?
Yes. Sure.
Okay. So I'm looking here, Martin. You'll have to explain a bit for me, I think, on the context of your 6 months before you can start the matriculation process. I think if I was to, this is Alex. If I was to buy a Spanish-French car and have it in my name for 6 months, can I import the car from Spain or France, having owned it for 6 months elsewhere?
Yes.
People are really trying to work around this, aren't they?
But the residency it's in France or Spain. It has to be, must be.
Okay, so it's got to be registered over there for that 6 months. Okay, all right, okay.
6 months minimum residence. On
all
that.
right. Okay, Wayne is apologizing for the confusion, but I think we've addressed that now for you, Wayne, there. And I'm impressed by how quickly you can insure a car, which is great. Something I've noticed, perhaps you can help me with this. With car insurance in Portugal, it would appear that an owner of the car and the person on the policy can lend their car to other people. Is that how it works in Portugal? Is it if you have an insurance policy and you lend your car to somebody, they are covered?
Yes.
Okay, that's brilliant. That was a real bonus for me.
My car to Rosario,
yeah,
has insurance. The car has insurance, have coverage for the driver and passengers.
Yeah.
It's mandatory to have in Portugal an insurance for that covers the passengers of the car.
Oh, okay.
And third party as well.
Yeah.
And the driver as well. Yeah. And I can borrow my car to Rosario.
Yeah.
Have insurance in my car, and I can buy it.
That's good to know. That's good to know. I was really impressed by that when somebody said, "Yeah, hey, borrow my car," because it's not like that in the UK. It's not as straightforward as that in the UK where I come from.
No.
So Didi says we're coming to Lisbon next week to become residents. Congratulations, Didi. We're coming over in our car full of our belongings, and we're going to take the car back to the UK once we've bought a car in Portugal. Which we will do as soon as we feasibly can. We need our car to get to Portugal. So this is the problem, I suppose, of disposing of, for example, in this case, a British vehicle in Portugal. Now, you'll have come across this before. What would you recommend? What do people normally do in that situation?
Next year will be very hard to import UK cars. If you don't fulfill that conditions to have the tax exemption, next year on the 1st of January, UK become a third country.
Oh, sure, but I think with this particular case, and let me know, Didi, if I'm correct here. I think what is going to happen here, they're bringing their British car here. And then they're going to buy a Portuguese car, and of course now they know that they can get help from you in buying a car, maybe from you as well with the guarantee and everything. What can they do with their British car? Because obviously it becomes a liability, and it shouldn't be on the road here after a certain time, after 180 days, for example. Maybe they scrap it or sell it. Can you sell a British car here?
No.
Okay, right. Okay.
No.
What happens in these sorts of cases? What are you aware of from your experience of this sort of situation?
But in that case, in particular, he become to be a resident in Portugal, and you will cancel the residence in UK.
I don't. Well, I don't think it quite works like that, does it? Because when you don't cancel being a resident of the UK, you end up ultimately possibly having dual citizenship. But I guess you can prove that you no longer live there. That would be a different way of looking at that, yeah.
Exactly. You have to go to the, I think you have to go to, in the UK cases, you have to go to the fiscal, how can I say, the department in the UK, council, say that you will move to Portugal. And with that, you have to go to here in Lisbon to the British Council, and they will attest that you really cancel the residence to move to Portugal.
Right.
Okay. And that is enough.
Okay.
It is enough.
And then that makes having the car here legal.
Yes.
And
the other documents, okay?
Okay, so then it's legal.
And so on.
Okay. But another option would be scrapping it. I mean, presumably they could scrap it if it wasn't worth very much, or if it was too much hassle, for example.
But scrap it how? You cannot cancel the British plates here in Portugal.
Oh, wow. Okay, so the vehicle needs to go back to Britain somehow.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
you cannot sell.
Okay.
Because nobody wants to buy a new car. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting. I think a few of these particular cases may go onto our forum on expatsportugal.com for the specifics here, because it is very complex, as we're beginning to understand here. And I invite you both to come over to our forum and talk to people on our forum as well, because you're going to get some business out of it ultimately, I think. But people clearly need help with this. It's a very complex area, isn't it? You know, notoriously so. On a slightly different note, Jeff is asking, are there car clubs for petrol heads like me on the Algarve? Are you familiar with the term petrol head?
Petrol head.
These are the guys who watch the program like Top Gear, who love their cars. What are they called? Muscle cars. Does that phrase make any sense? This is a different expat genre. Then these are the guys who love their vehicles, and girls who love their vehicles. What are there owners clubs? I suppose that would be another way of putting it. Do people who own BMWs or Aston Martins or whatever, do they get together and pose with their cars at different events and so on?
We have the classic car, ACP
classic cars. Okay, yeah.
Okay, ACP classics.
Okay. ACP
classics for persons that have classic cars. Okay. We help with we provide a certification that exempts on inspections. Okay, for cars that have more than 30 years old, they don't have to make the inspection for 4 years.
Oh, that's good.
They give the certificate for that.
Yeah, well, that takes us into another question. But so, do you have a classic car rally or get together? Do you organise that? No, not you personally. But does the club have a gathering? Do all people gather with their cars and show their cars off?
Yes,
they do.
Classics,
where does that happen in Portugal? Sounds like fun.
In Estoril, we have in Estoril, all over the country. We have on our website.
Yeah.
You can visit ACP Classics, and appears all the road trips that we make.
Fantastic. I think that might appeal to you then, Jeff. Estoril, of course, is where it's thought the idea for James Bond was arrived at. So that's a great place, a great venue for that. Vicky says, we have a 30-year-old Miata. I'm so sorry, Vicky. I'm not aware of that. But the point here is it's 30 years old. Does age of the vehicle make a difference for importing and insuring? So clearly we've heard partly it does. If the vehicle is over 30 years of age, that's going to help, is it, in terms of
we have a special, it's a kind of a special table. The cars from before the 70s, okay, 1969 included, okay, this 1970 not included.
Oh, okay.
If until 1969, we calculate the ISV.
Yeah.
Okay? We just with the engine, the displacement, the engine capacity, and the fuel. CO2 not counts for the calculation.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's less ISV than a normal car. Okay.
Okay.
Normal car.
All right, excellent. Lots of little questions that hopefully we'll be able to squeeze in. Obviously, take this to the forum, guys, and we'll do our best to answer, or we'll do a part 2 if necessary. Michael, does ACP cover Spain for roadside assistance?
Yes.
So, okay, good to know. This is a classic question. Do you need a NIF number to join ACP?
No. You don't.
You don't? Wow.
Don't need NIF number.
I'm surprised, but that's fantastic.
One thing. To buy a car in Portugal, you have to have a NIF number. Okay,
yeah.
Mandatory to have. If you want to import a car, you have to have a NIF number.
Yes, of course. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So it's worth it's worth getting a NIF number anyway.
Yes.
For most of what you want to do in Portugal, get a NIF number.
Number is the most important number in Portugal.
It is the heart of Portuguese life. Okay, or financially anyway. Martin, are there specific process requirements for a 3.5-ton motorhome? Does it get even more complicated with motorhomes and camper vans?
No, it's quite the same.
Okay.
The only difference is you have to make a gas inspection. Okay, it's different. They have to have the inspection, the inspection specific for the legalization. Okay, and also a gas inspection. Okay,
Sounds like a call to ACP there, Martin. ACP, this is from Gareth. Hi, Gareth. ACP say that as a resident, I can't drive a foreign vehicle in Portugal. Does that include my van from UK to bring my personal belongings that I drive back to the UK? I mean, surely, Soraya, Rosario, you must be able to bring your stuff over in a British vehicle and then drive it back as though you were a tourist, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm glad we've got that sorted out. Is all of this information the same in the autonomous regions, the Azores and Madeira? Does it extend to both of the islands as well?
Yes.
Or all of the islands, I should say. Okay, Jeff, you've prompted me here. This was good to know, and I was going to tell you about this. I've logged onto the ACP site, says Jeff, whilst we're doing this webinar here, but can't find an English language version. It is in English, isn't it? My experience of it is that it is in English.
Yes, yeah. On our website, we have an English version.
Okay. All right, fantastic. Importing to Rotterdam, I'll come back to that. Does ACP have local offices in Portugal where you can get the information as we arrive in Portugal? So tell us about where you are all over the country here in Portugal as well.
Lisbon in our head office. We are in our head office in Lisbon. We have in Amoreira Shopping, in Colombo Shopping, Estoril, Guarda, Aveiro, North Shopping, Porto, Faro, all over Portugal. All over. We cover all Portugal. Madeira and the Açores as well.
That's perfect. We are getting a deluge of questions now. This is quite amazing. I think we are going to have to do a part 2 and certainly take it to our forum. There are questions about the exchange of driving licenses, which is an issue for the British. You help with that, right?
Yes. We provide the only thing that we can provide is the medical certificate that you need to change the driving license. We cannot handle with all the process. We're not authorized to do that. Not us or just IMT. Okay. But we help with that medical certificate. We have we can issue the medical certificate. You have to come into our office to make the appointment. Okay, but we can give all the information that you need to change. Okay? We cannot handle with the process, but we give the information that you need.
Great. Okay, that's good to know. The classic.
Sorry,
carry on.
With for UK driving license, okay, try to make the change before the end of the year, okay? Because
Of course.
after the 1st of January, you can make the change, but
It's more
the difference is you have to bring a authenticity certificate from the British authorities. There is more problematic, but you can make, okay? But it's easier if you make it until the end of this year.
And that's the guidance, of course, from the
Yes.
British government as well. Wow, we do have, I think, a bit of a catch-22 here that I'm going to try and sort of articulate to you. And this may well be something that we can't resolve right here and now, but we will get back to people about this. So you come, for example, from UK and you become a resident here and you want to drive your vehicle back to the UK. Let me know, DD, Gareth, and others in the questions here. I know Jerry's working hard for me behind the scenes there as well, trying to help with this because it is complex. But this scenario, people are driving from the UK. They've got all their stuff in their van or their car or their worldly belongings, and they're starting their new life in Portugal. They become residents in Portugal because they go into they prove their residency here. They get their NIF number. They've got a bank account, and they become permanent residents, or the 5 year part of becoming a resident in Portugal. At that point, their vehicle is then, strictly speaking, illegal, isn't it? Because they've got a British vehicle here with them.
Yes.
So what do you do about that? How do we? ACP, you have to give us an answer about this. If not tonight, then tomorrow.
You have to legalize the car in that case. There's no other way.
Yeah.
Because if
Really?
to change the plates.
if you cancel the residency in UK, you have 1 year, okay, to begin the process. Okay,
Yeah.
after the cancellation of residence. Okay,
Okay.
to have tax exemption. If you don't fulfill that conditions, you have to, if you want to legalize the car, you have to pay the ISV. And in that case, you have 20 days since the date that you enter in Portugal to begin the process.
Okay.
It's the official deadline that you have to begin the process.
So am I right in thinking then, if within that 20 days you drive it back to Britain, you're okay?
This case, I have a British car, the police stops me, okay?
Yeah.
I cannot have any proof that I'm living in UK anymore, okay?
Yeah.
They give me a fine, a penalty, okay?
Okay, I think we're going to be. Yes, I think we probably need to sleep on this and pick it apart some more. But this is a really good start, so thank you for that. There are a couple of things that we can squeeze in before we finish at 9. One was on older cars, and this is about the road tax. So you obviously have to have you're obliged to insure your car, obviously, and you're insuring the vehicle, not the person. We've discovered. What is the road tax here in Portugal? What does that cost, roughly speaking, for a vehicle?
The road tax every year that you have to pay?
the annual tax, yeah.
Yes, the circulation tax. It depends as well of the engine capacity and the CO2 emissions.
Oh, okay, yeah, understandably. Roughly speaking, your yearly cost for that?
My car.
Oh, yes, a good example. Perfect. Personal example.
Okay, my car is from 2008. It's a Suzuki. Pays 150 euros
for the year.
Yes.
Okay, and if you have an old car.
An old car.
Yeah, I mean a very old. I mean a vintage or classic car. Do you still have to pay the road tax on that?
No, if the car have more than 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay. The fiscal, okay, the person has to prove into finances that car don't circulate more than 500 kilometers, I think so, 500 kilometers per year.
A year? Wow, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And have to have that certificate from ACP Classics.
Yeah.
That is an historic car.
Okay, and then you would save yourself approximately 150
zero.
euros a year. Okay, you're not going to be driving that around to rallies then, are you? Probably have to put it on a trailer. Okay. A final quick question then, and it always comes back to the NIF number. When you buy insurance of any kind or your road tax, you're going to need a NIF number, right?
Yes.
Of course. Of course. Okay, so there you go, Anna. That's the answer to that one. Soraya, Rosario, thank you so much for being here tonight, for presenting the benefits, for taking us into that very complex territory of matriculation in Portugal. And I think you're going to have to handhold us a bit more on this journey and be with us. The premium members will get a 25% discount on your services. You've got to contact us directly for that. And community members, everybody, all members of expatsportugal.com will get some sort of discount on ACP and all the benefits we spoke about earlier. And then, of course, the whole matriculation thing is another process, which, as you can see, we can go into more deeply on our forum. And I think we're going to have to get you back again for another webinar if you're up for that.
Yes. And you must be membership of ACP.
Oh, you know me. You're leaning against an open door. As soon as I read out the 10 benefits, you had me by benefit 5. So you can rely on my member, and I'm a premium member, so I'm going to get 25% off that as well.
No, he's not.
Oh, come on, Jerry. You said I was.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much, ACP, for being Automóvel Club de Portugal, for being with us tonight on this Portugal Calling webinar. You've been amazing. Thank you so much. And thanks everybody for your questions and bearing with us in this very complex territory. Really appreciate your forbearance and patience with us tonight and your attendance, especially you Americans on Thanksgiving Day. Enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving Day and bye for now.